Welcome to another edition of Designing Spaces, the show that's all about you and your space, your home and surroundings. I'm Debi Marie.
And I'm David Jones. It's a new year and we are creating brand new spaces.
Well, we're looking at taking old spaces and making them look like new and more updated.
We're going to look at floors, walls, and yes, DIYers, there's something you should have in your toolbox that is often overlooked.
Right, and see how you can give your home a new mood and character. All right here on Designing Spaces.
You know, so many of us these days are getting into do-it-yourself projects for home improvement to save a few bucks. Of course, you need those tools like hammers and screwdrivers, drills, files, scrapers, measuring devices, just to name a few.
Oh, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, well, but there's often one item overlooked that figures into so many aspects of basic household maintenance. I got to see this one firsthand. Watch. More and more homeowners are rolling up their sleeves and taking the bull by the horns. Taking on home maintenance projects, usually reserved for professional repair services. DIYers are discovering they can complete otherwise costly projects around the house once they have the right tools and pick up on a few techniques from the pros. That's what we're here for. Designing Spaces says go for it. Helping us put together the perfect toolbox is Tom Hrabak, product engineer with the Blaster Corporation. Well, usually we think of the toolbox with having hammers, screwdrivers, drills, files, scrapers, and measuring devices. Tom has another useful item in mind. You may think your toolbox and workbench are well equipped, but you might be missing a main component that most DIY projects use. What am I talking about? Lubricant and penetrants. You know, the chemicals that keep the mechanical parts working fluidly and protect from the elements. And joining us today is Tom. So good to have you here today.
Thanks for having us, Debbie.
Now, I have to ask you, though, what is the difference between a lubricant and a penetrant?
Well, they're formulated for different purposes. A penetrant is formulated to get through rust and corrosion, help free up fasteners, nuts, bolts, and other mechanical devices. And a lubricant is formulated specifically to reduce the friction between moving surfaces.
Both very important.
Yeah, both are. Yep.
Okay, and you brought two products here today, so let's talk about what you have.
Okay, we brought two lubricants with us today. One is simply called our garage door lube, and it's formulated to lubricate your garage door. The other product we brought with us today is our PB50, which is a multi-purpose lubricant.
Okay, well, we have the garage door lube right now, and, well, hey, we're in the garage, so let's talk about how we use it. Will you give us a lesson?
Certainly.
Okay.
Our garage door lube is formulated specifically for your garage door. It's going to lubricate all the moving components of your garage. The rollers, your hinges, the tracks, the spring, the drive mechanism. And it's formulated to sort of replace grease, which is used in those instances. And this dries tack-free, so dirt and dust isn't going to accumulate there and make a mess.
Okay, and we just spray it on.
Just spray it on.
So it's very easy. We can do it, and no problem.
Yes.
Okay, how often should we do it?
We always recommend you check with the manufacturer of your garage door or garage door opener, but typically twice a year is gonna do it.
That's easy.
One of the best indicators of whether or not your garage door needs lubricating is if you listen to it.
Yeah,
if it's squeaking, clunking.
Yeah, you might need to use your garage door.
Right.
Absolutely.
So based on your conditions, you may be lubricating it more frequently than twice a year, but typically twice a year is going to get the job done.
Okay, now it is an aerosol can, and many people might be thinking it's not environmentally friendly.
Right. Aerosol cans did get a bad stigma, being bad for the environment, but we use a CO2 in the can, which is a component of the air. The can and the cap itself is recyclable.
Wonderful. And you also brought another product, the multi-purpose lube, right?
Yes, our PB50 is a multi-purpose lube with thousands of uses.
Okay, so we're here in the garage. What would we use the multi-purpose lube for?
Quick glance around this garage, I see bicycles and motorcycles with chains and cables, lawn equipment.
Oh, okay, good.
Hinges and tools. It also imparts a thin layer of lubrication on components, so it'll keep things from rusting too. So even if you're not going to be using the thing, you can spray it down and it'll keep the component or tool protected from the elements.
Which is saving you time and money because then you won't have to replace them as often.
Right.
Okay, where around the house could we use this
In a
product?
typical house, you're going to have hinges on every door. You're going to have the tracks on your sliding screen doors. You have drawers all over the place.
Right.
Anywhere that there's a two surfaces sliding that need lubrication.
Right. And again, you'll hear that noise and you're like, okay, need to grab that all-purpose lube. Wow, that smells good.
Yeah, there's a vanilla fragrance in the product to make it pleasanter for use around the home.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to find a lot of uses.
Yes, certainly.
Where can our viewers find these products?
These products are available in most home improvement stores.
Okay.
Most auto parts stores are carrying our products, as well as your hardware stores.
Easy enough. And I know you have a website that we can learn all about them, right?
Certainly.
What is that?
It's blastercorp.com.
Easy enough. Tom, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
Well, we'll have a link to their website on ours at designingspaces.tv. Lots of useful information, and you can also see this part of the show again, just in case you missed anything. We'll see you soon. Well, the new year is underway, and we're off to a good start.
I think we are, but with every great show, it's that time once again.
Exactly. Time to say goodbye. But for now, we'll see you soon. I'm Debi Marie.
And I'm David Jones. So long.
You can visit these websites to learn more about the participants on this edition of Designing Spaces.